But yes, the main event of the evening. Kevin Nash. He was on his Click This podcast. He had a take on Jevon Evans.
He's an
The reason he's talking about Jevon Evans is because last week Jevon Evans did that coast to coast cutter thing. So he was the topic of the week. Kevin Nash had a take for Jevon Evans. So we have a clip here.
he's an incredible athlete. Um, he's a little bit too fucking Mr. BoJangles for me. I wish he was a little bit more urban. I understand it's Netflix. I understand there's a big fucking world out there besides the one that fucking 66-year-old Detroit boy Kevin Nash wants, but I just want him to have a little bit of an edge. But if he's not going to have an edge, then he knows how to throw. He can strike. Like he throws a good punch. Fucking take your time and throw a good punch. Maybe put two or three together. Something where fucking you tell me if this shit was real, all this athleticism I have, I can use. Not if this shit was real, motherfucker, I would cartwheel off your motherfucking body like you would never see.
It's being in a fight. We always come back to this, right?
So there you go. That is the statement that he made about Jevon Evans. And if you heard, he made a reference to Jevon Evans being BoJangles. Now, I'm going to set some groundwork here because you may not know who BoJangles is. I didn't know who it is before the reference. Then I found out about him. I knew the name, but I didn't really know who he was. So there's three BoJangles, I should tell you. There's Mr. BoJangles, there's BoJangles, and then there's another Mr. BoJangles. I don't know which one he's completely referencing. So I'll tell you about the two. One, he was a tap dancer, actor, and a singer. He was best known for being the highest paid black entertainer of his time. This was like early 20th century. And
I don't know what y'all are bitching about.
well, we'll get to it. But at the top of his career, he made it to the movies with Shirley Temple, who is
She was a child star. She's a legend.
yes, a child star. You probably know the name Shirley Temple. I mean, there's a drink named after her now, but that was a person. So
I think she's a recluse now.
is she?
I'm pretty sure. She grew up and she's like, fuck that. They probably did unspeakable things to her.
Maybe. So yes, he made it to the movie screens with Shirley Temple, and then for some weird reason they've kept a record and said that he's like the first black man to appear with a white child on on a movie screen. I don't know why we're keeping track of that, but there you go. And then there's the second Mr. Bojangles, who is a character that was referenced in a song by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. It's just like an old folklore song. And then it was later covered by Sammy Davis Jr. Both Bojangles were like tap dancers. And you can't really tell the race of the second Bojangles, but the Bojangles he ran into is in Louisiana, in the South, in the early 19s. So segregation would have been a thing back then. So he wouldn't have been in a cell with a black person. So that's why it's a little dicey on the race. But just from the song, we can assume that it was another black guy and also a tap dancer. Some people say that maybe it's just like a loose translation of Bill Robinson Bojangles. But there you go. Both of them were tap dancers and basically entertainment, if you will. So that's who Bojangle is. So Kevin Nash makes this reference about Jevon Evans being less like Mr. Bojangles. And I'm not trying to defend him, but what I think he was saying was that he wants him to be like less of a showman. It may be a surprise to you, but the original Bojangles, the actor, kind of divisive character. Yes, he was loved, but just look at that guy on the screen here. You can tell that he's a show pony, for no better way to put it. He's just there to entertain, and he was a little bit too entertaining. So I think that's what Kevin Nash was getting at is Jevon Evans is like entertaining, but he wants him to be a little bit more like
He wants
tough.
him to be a little bit more thuggish.
Well, not thuggish. I think
He
he's just
said urban.
he did say urban.
So
That's the other thing. I don't think when he said urban, he meant like crime time, sag pants and stuff.
no, not necessarily, but he wants him to be a little bit more serious. And in his mind, serious black man is an urban black man.
He is. But just the fact that he's make the reference of BoJangles, I don't think he was thinking thug. I think he was just thinking like with a little bit more edge.
I think the BoJangles is off because I don't think he's that tame. I think he's a little urban, actually.
He is urban, but I can understand what he was getting at.
The bouncy shit needs to go.
Okay, so there's a move that he does where he actually like bounces off the ropes, and before he's like, "That boy bouncy." Yes, that definitely needs to go. I get the cutter. It's like his move. That's getting over. So I'm okay with the cutter part. I mean, the cross the coast cutter that he did that even started this whole thing. Yes, that was like one of the most amazing things you would see. And then this week he did some like weird spin kick, but he like bounced off the bottom rope and did it. Again, it was just like some of the damnedest thing you'd see. So, yes, athleticism is just off the charts. He uses slang, he talks urban, yes. But I think ultimately what we're getting at here is Jevon Evans, he just wants him to be a little bit more serious. It's kind of hard to describe. I'm just thinking of some examples here. So we have like Obafemi, right? He's not as much of a bubbly character as Jevon Evans. Or if you think like Trick Williams. Okay, Trick Williams is perfect. He has all the flash, right? But he also has a serious side. Now he is a heel, and Jevon Evans is a babyface, so there's a difference there. Maybe
I've
it's
yet to see a
babyface.
serious side.
You've yet to see a
I
serious
got my
side.
lemon pepper steppers. Can't handle your business.
Well, that's just
Breath smelling like 10 pounds of whoop that ass.
what do you mean you haven't seen a serious side? What did he say his first week? You take away this coat, you take away the shades, you take away the lemon pepper steppers, and what you got? You got 265 pounds. And otherwise, I'm a grown ass man.
You can't be serious when you refer to your footwear as lemon pepper steppers.
Okay, maybe you can't. But on the same token,
He's not as much of a clown or a jester
Jester
as
is the
Jevon
yes.
is.
Hold on. I have a perfect thing here. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, MVP talked about this promo, which made me then go back and listen to it. And this is the promo between Triple H and Booker T. The one before the WrestleMania match. So Triple H, he says to Booker T, and then this is what Kevin Nash is talking about for Jevon Evans. So the night after Booker T had won a 20-man battle royal to go to WrestleMania, Triple H, he comes out. He tells Booker T that you're confused about your role here in life. You're not here to be a competitor, but you're here to be an entertainer. People like you aren't to be champion. That's reserved for people like me. People like you are supposed to be entertainment. Of course, the crowd starts to boo and shit. And then he said, go ahead, do a little dance for me. Come on, Book. Do your spinneroonie. Sitting there with your nappy hair and your suckers. That's what he said to Booker T. It would go on from there. He then go on to put down WCW, talking about how Booker T was champion in WCW when a guy named David Arquette and some guy named Vince Russo was champion. So essentially, you championed them right out of business. But it was the part there, him telling Booker T that people like you are here to entertain people like me, and you're not supposed to be champion. And we did that to go back to Jevon Evans. And that's what Kevin Nash is saying. And it's funny that it's Triple H that is a part of that promo, but that's what Kevin Nash is saying. Jevon Evans he's going to get put into a role like R-Truth if he doesn't become more serious. And again, this is at the top level. Like if you're down there with the Grande Americanos, it doesn't matter what you do, but talking about being taken serious as a championship competitor.
Oh yeah, once you get in that comedy role, it's over.
Yeah, then you're going to be R-Truth. And remember Ron Killings for that week? And he got out there and he cut his hair. And he was talking about he's driving now. And then now, yeah, he is right back in the show.
Triple H had this all planned up to this moment. This was all by design.
All by design. So that's ultimately what Kevin Nash is trying to avoid. Obviously, people just got butthurt over
they just have R-Truth on payroll just because.
Pretty much. Just because they can't fire him.
Here, you go talk about your balls or something.
Or he comes to them, oh, I got this idea. Just do it, whatever. But yeah, that's what Kevin Nash is trying to avoid from Jevon Evans. Now, the difference is he's been on the roster for, what, a month? On the main roster? Not going to take into account what he did in NXT because no one really watches NXT. But yeah, he's been here for a month. So he does have time to grow into his character. I mean, Batista was a deacon when he got to the main roster.
Yeah, but he wasn't a comedy act.
True. Yeah, once you get into the comedy, it's kind of hard to break out. But
like, look at Great Khali. He was feuding with Undertaker, doing the Punjabi shit, and then he started dancing with whoever the fuck he was dancing with.
Oh, and then he became the Punjabi Playboy.
Yeah. Mike Awesome. He was fucking awesome. Then became the fat chick Thriller.
Damn it, Vince. Big Show turned into wearing diapers.
Saturn wearing dresses. Gold Dust.
Yeah, Gold Dust.
Mick
when he
Foley.
started, he was much more of a serious character. Then he turned into a comedy act.
Yeah, you just can't get out of it.
Another one, I guess he was always destined to be here, but Doink the Clown. When you watch early Evil Doink, I was afraid of him.
Well, then they got rid of Matt Bourne, and then they stopped giving a shit about the character.
Yes. And also, yeah, he turned babyface, and maybe it was the character change, but yeah, he turned babyface. And then another one, as you learned me, was the Repo Man, who was a part of Demolition, one of the most feared tag teams in the world. And then he turned into the Repo Man, who was always stealing stuff. All being said, I think it was the right message from the wrong messenger. I think ultimately it's what it is. But again, Jevon Evans has just been on the roster for a month, so there is still time for him. Now, Kevin Nash, he did end up issuing an apology. This was the third attempt at an apology. He did it twice and then deleted those two, and this is what he settled on. I apologize for the use of the term Mr. BoJangles. It was in poor taste and obviously offensive. I just see talent being pushed in a direction that I disagree with. He should be the male version of Sol Ruka, more contemporary than urban. Again, that was apology number 3. The other 2 got deleted. One of them to which he claimed that he's the only one that cares about black talent.
There you go.
So
I love when they do that.
Yeah, obviously that one was going to have to be deleted. But yes, there you go. Nash bent the knee. But again, I think it's the right message to the wrong messenger.